The next album we're going to talk about and last one we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Obviously, Kendrick is a huge name in hip hop, one of the biggest artists that we've had.
Especially
Some people
right
consider
now.
him one of the best artists of all time in hip hop.
Yeah.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This album came out about 2 years ago, I believe. I listened to it when it first came out. I think I listened to it the day
I listened to
of.
the first half.
You did?
Yeah, when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
And
Excuse me.
coming into this album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, saw that it was 2 discs. This was his last album on TDE. And all right, he's probably going to go out.
It's kind of short though, ain't it?
No, it's an hour and 20 something.
It is. Dang.
It's 2 discs. It's like an hour and 20 something. I
Dang,
think.
keep going, be my bad.
But, no, you're all good. But when it comes to Mr. Morale and Big Steppers, I'm like, all right, what does this mean, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? And when you look at it, some people call this one Mr. Morale, people call this two the Big Steppers. I'm still not really clear on what that actually stands for in the actual album itself. Maybe you could teach me.
Nah,
I don't know.
I can't.
Yeah, I've listened to this album 3 times since it's been released.
2 for me.
2 this past year. And once when it first came out.
Yeah.
I never went back to it. I never went back to any song. I mean, the only song I really liked that I went back to was maybe Silent Hill with him and Kodak Black.
I like Rich Spirit.
Rich Spirit is cool, but you know, I told you before, I'm not a fan of Kendrick like by himself. I gotta listen to it in the album context generally. So when it comes to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I had no anticipation for it. I just knew that Kendrick was gonna come with something, especially with him holding a baby and a woman in the back looking like she's breastfeeding. Like I said, I saw it was 2 discs. It's about an hour and 18 minutes. That's what it is. 19 songs. This album is not bad.
No, it's not.
I don't think Kendrick could come out with a bad body of work. I'm gonna say that right now because people think I'm a Drake Glazer. People want to say all this.
But you know that Kendrick put out better albums than Drake.
In terms of like, if you want to go percentile wise, yes.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I would rather dram a Drake album than a Kendrick album.
just
but I
because
will
of
say lyrically, in terms of artistically as well,
Writability.
Kendrick will come out with a better album, more than likely.
yeah.
I will say that right now. I love Drake. I'd rather jam Drake. But Kendrick, artistically, thematically, rapping ability wise, he's gonna come out with a better album than Drake.
He's.
But to me, I have more replay value in Drake's album. For me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that right
He
now.
put out the pacified music.
Shut up.
He does though.
What do you mean?
Like what Mos Def was saying, he was dead on.
No, I agree.
We all know that.
I agree, but I've never had a problem with that.
Yeah, me
because
neither. I
to
love
me,
Drake.
Drake is one of those people that I ain't gotta think too hard when I listen to his music. With Kendrick, it's gonna be thought provoking.
Yeah, Drake is 2K, like me playing NBA 2K. And Kendrick is like me getting into like a freaking JRPG role player game. Or
I was
something
gonna
like
say
that.
Drake is more like an Assassin's Creed, but all right.
You don't think he's NBA 2K?
I think other trap artists are more that and Call of Duty.
You think Drake is Uncharted? You what you saying?
No, I said Assassin's Creed. Nah, has a little bit of depth, but it's kind of the same
What
thing.
depth you get from Drake?
I mean,
Besides
he's way more lyrical than the average rapper.
But no.
Than the average rapper, like a debate.
No, look, Drake could get lyrical, bro. I'm not saying that, but he's not lyrical miracle.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
what Drake does is he don't even put the medicine in the candy, bro. He just give you the candy.
Yeah.
Like he most likely gonna give you the candy,
Yeah.
and that's what 2K is. It's just you don't have to think much. You just play the game. I think he fall in that same category as a
Okay,
trap
so
artist.
what would you consider Kendrick in terms of video games?
I just said like if I'm trying to hop into like a a puzzle game or a JRPG with a lot of like trying to upgrade and trying to figure out the lore or something. I'm like, hold up, what did he really mean? Do I have to read the book to understand this in the game?
So you call him like a Cyberpunk or a Fallout? But you said JRPG.
Yeah, I think more. I think
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, something like I said Nina Cooney.
Yeah,
I said
I knew you was gonna say
something
that.
that's more like relevant that I could think of. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's I could say a whole bunch like travel and all that. But going back to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I get where Kendrick was going at with this.
Yeah.
I would say that it's hard for me to say this is his most mature album because he's never come off with an immature album.
Yeah.
I mean the most immature is maybe Good Kid, Mad City, maybe the mixtape, the Overly Dedicated.
That was mature.
No, but I'm saying the most immature. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the most, like, I guess I could count immature. Because this is his most mature album in terms of the themes that he's tackling. But you can also see that he has a great perspective and point of view. And he's very aware of who he is, what he's been through. Yeah. But in this album, he's kind of going through more of, like, a therapy session, as a lot of people call it. It's more introspective in terms of how Kendrick is thinking rather than what he's going through and what his area is like. It's more so what's happening in here.
I think what he's doing is like he's peeling the banana. You know what I'm saying? He's peeling it like, because you know how you see banana got the bruises. Because like people have a like they look at Kendrick like he's like, oh, he's the good guy. Like you wouldn't imagine him cheating.
He's always morally a good person.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this is him breaking himself down, like killing the ego, killing Kendrick, like letting y'all know, like, yo, I'm just like y'all, like I'm not perfect.
Yeah, he even says that. So and so is not your savior.
Yeah,
I am not your savior.
So that's him pretty much breaking down the layers of him, like
stop idolizing people. Because just because of what you see. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff
you don't see from me. Like,
and so I think that also comes with him not being on social media a lot.
Yeah, he's
like to me, I know we talk about this kind of. People think that he's not on social media and Kendrick doesn't see a lot of stuff. I think he sees everything.
Yeah,
I just think that he's one of those lurkers. Yeah. There's people who have accounts, burners. Yeah. They look at everything, but they don't really interact or post about it. Yeah. And you can tell because of what he raps about. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm what the culture's feeling. You know, stuff like that.
Because he understands.
He understands. So
he's kind of like me. In a way, I don't really post who I am. I don't do that, but I know what everything's going on. Mm-hmm.
So with this album, to me, I think that I was very consciously aware of who Kendrick is, what he's about, the growth that he's been in. I wish he touched a bit more upon fame, especially with how that's changed him. Yeah. But him as a father, you know, his family, what his father has done to him, how his relationship is with his father.
You talk about that on Father Time, right? Mm-hmm. That's a good song.
Which is a good song with Sanford on the hook. It's a really good song. Enjoyed that. But yeah. I would say that to me, this album feels a bit disjointed. Yeah. Because at some points, to me, I feel like, and like I said, this is not a bad album. I think it's an all right Kendrick album.
I think it'd be really great if I think I know you said, musically, some of these songs is like, come on.
Like, it feels disjointed because to me, thematically, I get where you're going at Kendrick, but to me, he sprinkles in elements of dang. Where I'm just like, to me, this feels like a regular song. And it could tie in with the thing, but to me, it's very loosely tying in to where, like, if I take this out, you wouldn't even think I'm going for a bigger overall arching theme.
He has some songs on here that's like, okay, yo, this is it. Mm-hmm. Like, you understand, like, the concept he was trying to bring here, but he actually have those songs. It's like, what? Come on, like, I know what you're saying, V. I feel the same way. I'm like, this album to me could be a great album. Yeah, like as a therapeutic album. Him, you know, having his therapy section with himself. I think he could have took a different direction.
And you know what I wish he would have done? I agree completely with you. Yeah. I wish disc 1 would have been like the Big Steppers. Yeah. And then disc 2 would have been Mr. Morale. I wish the Big Steppers was like the tracks that you would hear on the radio, the N95 where he's like that, take it off. Or the song with him and Baby Keem. Yeah. But it's like some of these songs I really enjoy as songs. Yeah. But to me, when going into this album, I'm just like, to me, this feels a very disjointed because it's like you want to sprinkle in elements of dang, but then you want to sprinkle in elements of maybe Good Kid, Mad City or To Pimp a Butterfly with your storytelling aspect and the introspective aspect. To me, this album felt all over the place, and to me, I really didn't feel like there was a cemented, this is disc 1, this is disc 2. Kind of like with a Big Crit, Forever is a Mighty Long Time. Yeah. To me, there was no clear divide. To me, it just felt like, oh, you did this first disc again, but you just did it with different songs. But still tonally kind of the same. You're still going over the introspection. You're still going to have the regular, like, push these niggas off me, like, you're going to have the regular radio hits. And so, to me, that's why I feel the album is disjointed, because I'm like, Kendrick, I really wish you would have, like, sectioned some of the bangers, I want to call them bangers, on one disc with the Big Steppers. Yeah. Shut up. But I really wish that Kendrick would have put the bangers on one side. Kind of like the medicine and the candy. Like, feed me the bangers first, and then let me get into the introspection.
I get you.
I wish he would have done that better, and I think that would have came better with the sequencing of the album.
It's the
sequences. And to me, I get where Kendrick is going at, like, oh, let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. So that way you're just not getting beat over the head with.
Because he has some powerful songs on here. I love Worldwide Steppers. I love that song. I love how, the beat changed.
Is that the one where he's talking about him smashing the white girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like, and then even with Mother, that's the last song, Mother I'm Sober, right?
So like, Drake
so he reversed it. But like, it's just like, it's certain things that he's talking about his auntie and all this. Like, these are really good subject matters and stuff to discuss that people don't really like to talk about. So it's like, I was like, man, Kendrick, if you would have executed this better with like me, you know how I am. I don't really care about the whole radio stuff. Bro, you just give me this album, this introspective album of you discussing and peeling back those layers of who you are. I would have loved that even more. But I know this TDE is also a game of like, it's music.
It's a numbers game. You gotta do something that everybody can listen to.
And I know he's Kendrick Lamar, even though I know he don't go for those type of songs, but like, I still have to.
I think he goes for them, but he knows how to, like we talked about before, put the medicine in the candy. But I think he does go for those songs at times. Like, All Right to me, it has that structure. These Walls kind of has that structure. But you could tell, like, a backseat freestyle. Yeah. Even though it goes in context with the album, or a Beat Don't Kill My Vibe. You could tell he's going for these radio-like songs.
Not what's called it, though.
Beat Don't Kill My Vibe?
No, not that one. The other one. The freestyle.
Backseat freestyle?
That song's trash. I think it was more of like...
No, I get it in context of the album, but it was still a song that played on radio.
It was? I never heard that on the radio.
I heard it on the radio back when But that's what I'm saying. Like, in context of the album, it completely makes sense. It's not a bad song when you listen to it in the album perspective. Yeah. If you listen to it on its own, you're like, Kendrick, what the F is this? Kind of like the Michael Jordan song.
It's like off of OD. Like I as well. I love myself.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, he goes for the radio song, but he knows how to mask the medicine really well within it. And he knows how to construct a great song.
Yeah, and like even like putting it, like you said, what you call it, the sequencing of his albums. To me, this is the worst sequence album he done. Because he usually sequence Schoolboy Q albums. Like he does it for Schoolboy Q, but I don't know if he did it for his last project. Yeah,
which to me is still album of the year.
Yeah, he said they haven't worked together since the yellow
Crash Talk.
Yeah, because he did the ad-libs and stuff.
I remember that.
But man, only thing about, like, my really biggest critique is sequencing some of the song selections. Like, some stuff I feel like probably shouldn't have done that, because like how you started off start the album off. Like, I know, like, when it comes to Worldwide Steppers and all this stuff, and hearing some of those other tracks, I'm like, okay, I see what you wanted to do. I wonder why. I just wish he just stuck to that theme and just broke himself down. Probably put this album at like 42 minutes, just with those great songs. And like, I'm leaving TDE like this now. I'm finna go on and do some other things, and then he could have dropped that album with all the other stuff on there. To me, like with the N95, the banger songs. Because I feel like, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Y'all leaving me, and now y'all finna know the real Kendrick Lamar. Y'all know these other thoughts I have. These other, like, I always said, he said he was a hypocrite. Now y'all finna hear these, my other problems or other things I've been through, and my hypocrisy as well.
So, I want to piggyback off that thought. I wish that he would have sequenced it better, like I said earlier. I wish he would have gave TDE the last album, the introspective album.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
Just
give me the introspection, nothing else. But then come back, double back with a deluxe disc 2 with all those on there. Because to me, if you take these bangers out, and some of the songs that kind of have the introspection with the medicine and the candy, some of them could tie into the actual theme of the album. But to me, if you took them out, it wouldn't change the album much in terms of like the actual theme itself. Like, to me, I feel like if I take those songs out, I feel like they're a big distraction, and it totally conflicts with a lot of the themes that's happening on the album. I'm just like, Kendrick, I really wish this album was sequenced a bit better. And this isn't a bad album. And this album, I promise you, I'm saying this on record right now. Yeah. You guys know I'm not a Kendrick Glazer. This album is going to age like fine wine when a lot of the kids that are on hip hop Twitter now come back to it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Years. Us as older adults, especially us growing up with the internet age and kind of getting more into mental health and stuff like that, we kind of get where this album is already at now. It's not like one of those, it's going to grow on us type thing. Like, no, we're already kind of like at that age where we need to be minding that stuff. Yeah. For kids, like people that are teenagers, like my brother's age, they're going to grow up with this, and this is going to age like wine. But I think from the tonal structure, it's going to throw a lot of people off, because you hear a banger one time, but then you hear a super introspective, like, F word, F word, F word, F word. You're like, what the F just happened right here? And then you got a song with an interlude with Baby Keem, so that's definitely going to throw people off. To me, it just throws off tonally what the album's going for.
And then you got, Kodak Black with like his spoken word and stuff.
And people was killing him for that
for him
when it first came out.
I remember that.
Because obviously Kodak had the SA allegations happening with him. He obviously pled guilty or whatever. I could be, y'all can fact check me in the comment section.
Some people was trying to play into that, like him using Kodak as the example, just being like, sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover, or like sometimes you have to just, I guess give people a second chance. And just
that, and plus, to me, it's powerful. Especially, I wish that Kendrick would have went with the whole Mr. Morale thing. This plays perfectly into like, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Like, why do you guys keep hating me as this? I'm not your savior. LeBron isn't your savior. Future, all these other people, they're not your saviors. Like, this guy right here, Kodak Black.
The line he said about Kanye about forgiving Drake, and he said, I guess I'm too.
Yeah, I guess I'm not mature enough for something like that.
People talked about that when it came out, but now it kind of makes more sense now. Because he's like, I still haven't forgiven Drake for whatever it is.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I'm still not. So that could have multiple meanings as well.
What I'm saying. That's why it means more to, like, a lot of people like us reviewing this. A lot of people listen to this album now. Because it's like, okay, this is why he was ready to beef. Because, like, he let out everything that pretty much that you can find dirt on him about. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
But, yeah. Overall,
I think 6 out of 10. 6 or 7.
I say that this is a mid-album.
Yeah.
And mid-album isn't like it's all right, it's average. But if I, like I said earlier with the Gun album, catalog-wise, To Pimp a Butterfly is better. Section 80 is better. Yeah. Good Kid, Mad City is better. Dang is better. And Dang isn't better, I'm saying, like, introspection-wise, like, which one is deeper. Dang, in terms of, like, sequencing, to me, replayability, is better, and to me, I feel like it's more focused.
See, these one of them albums I can say that about. Because, like, them albums I sat with for so long, they're not samey albums. They're totally, each album can be a totally different, a totally different meaning, totally different, like, production on some of the, you know what I'm saying? So, like, with this is the lower of Kendrick albums, which is still a good album, but it's not a great album. Usually, like, what Kendrick will put out, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I think the thing is, we should probably one day make like a playlist of the definitive Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and see what songs we want to keep on there and take off. That would be a fun activity to do.
Rich Spirit was the song that I played even like 2022 to now. That's one of them. I just love that song. Yeah, playing me before I turn you into a song.
I like that song. I mean, there's a good amount of songs.
I think the video really got me. I love that video. Him in the boots in the room.
Yes,
he's just dancing.
Did you like The Heart, Part 5? I didn't care for it. I didn't like the instrumental.
The Heart, I love that. The instrumental is it's a Marvin Gaye sample. That's it. It's just he actually got the reels to a Marvin Gaye. He actually got the reels. That's all it is. It's just a Marvin Gaye beat. I Want You. That's all it is. I like the subject matter in that. I like the song. It was cool.
No, I didn't care for it.
The music video is what made it.
Yeah, it's
because the whole face AI
changing. Yeah. It's still funny how people are like, oh, Kendrick, he used AI, but
why would they bringing that up? I'm like, bro, that don't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't, especially with how they use it. It's different when you use AI and you use it to create something.
Yeah, it was a whole music video. You know how many people
to me it's artistic expression.
Yeah, you know how many people use different things in music videos and shifting their face and making themselves green or alien and all type of weird stuff. Like, bro, come on, bro. Y'all are wild. Y'all are stretching.
Yeah. But overall, with this project right here, not a bad project. To me, it's one of Kendrick's weaker projects in his discography and his catalog. But I think for a lot of the young people who are probably listening to this, it's going to age like fine wine for you guys. For us, it's Kendrick's most mature album, but it's also the most tonally conflicting one. And you could also say, oh, well, it could be, matching tonally what a human is, because we're never just going through one emotion.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to. I was thinking about that, but I'm not giving him that credit.
Yeah, I'm not either, because to me, that's a cop-out.
Yeah, that's a
cop-out, because I can say that for any album. You're like, well, that one's totally inconsistent. Well, humans are totally inconsistent in general. See, I don't want to do that. So if I got to play that game with Kendrick, I got to do that for a lot of people.
That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, I get what the theme of the album is going. It's not like a hard theme to get, especially if you listen to the lyrics. Is there multiple meanings for certain things? Of course, but it's not hard to get what the album is going for itself. Yeah. So I also hate that people are trying to say like this album is like super heady, it's going over your head. I'm like, dude, if you just listen and concentrate, not even concentrate, if you just listen to the words, you're gonna get what the album is going for. I don't get why people make this seem like it's one of the. I think his most heady album is To Pimp a Butterfly.
You think that one? I think
the most headiest, or it's like, oh, the lyrics are going over my head.
It could be. I love Section 80.
I'm not saying it's like
the subject matter of Section 80 is different.
Okay, so
because he talked about prostitution. Man, he discussed
those
lot
two rival each other. I'll say that.
Section 80 is like that's a really good album. And him being that young, that bro was like 25 when he put that out.
Dang, B, was it like Illmatic with Dons?
Bro, nah, Section 80 is insane. Like the subject matter he's talking about.
Section 80 for me is one. It's in my top of.
Yeah, I was like, bro, like me being the age I am now, and just going back and listening to stuff that Kendrick was talking about at that age, just like, dang, bro, like some people just you're from, you see and you experience different things than others, and you grow up you mature more faster than other people. So I don't know. I think that's a top. But I like Section 80 more than bro. Good Kid, Mad City. I always felt that way. Even when it came, I love Good Kid, Mad City.
Section 80 was my. I can jam more. Section 80 more.
I like Section 80.
To me, it has higher replayability for me. Even with Section 80, I mean, Good Kid, Mad City, I got to go through the whole album. Yeah. To me, because certain songs is like, you got to get the context for me. So that's my thing. I'm a big context guy when it comes to Kendrick.
But to get to Good Kid, Mad City has like one of my favorite Kendrick songs, like "Die in the Third." Like
Sing About Me.
That song is beautiful. That song is just. It's deep. It's a deep song. I like that song.
I'll say it's definitely up there in Kendrick's catalog. To me, it's not my favorite because I'm also basing it off of replayability. Yeah. So to me, and that song's pretty long too.
Yeah.
So
you know how I am. Yeah. I'm more of like I like subject matter more than like this song bang. If I go there, I'm moving like. Come on, I might do all right. I love that song. I can play all right.
That song is cool. Yeah. I think to me, To Pimp a Butterfly has the least replayability for me.
Yeah, I like it.
In terms of like, if I gotta bang it. If I gotta bang it. But I really enjoy To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. To me, it's like maybe third best for me. Third favorite. Let me say this, third favorite, not best. Because I rank those differently. Yeah. So yeah. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, not a bad album at all.
It's a good album. 6 to 7.
Yeah, 6 to 7. I mean, it's definitely going to age. The biggest problem for me is the sequencing and the tonal switches of the album itself. But if the tonal switches was better, if the actual separation of the discs was better, I think that this would be a greater album. Like I said before earlier, Big Crit's Forever is a Mighty Long Time is a perfect example of like being able how to sequence it, but also knowing how to separate both discs to make it feel like two separate albums.
Yeah, when it comes to 2 discs, bro, you get a lot of criticisms on that, bro. You got to do that really well, bro.
Yeah, to me, Kendrick, not bad music.
Yeah.
But if you're going to try and go for 2 divides, this was not the right execution for me.
It's
I'd rather just have a 20-track album at that point. That's what it sounds like.
Was it like that when it first came out? Was it just, it didn't have a disc shit?
It was labeled as 2 discs, but you know, Spotify didn't really have the whole disc separation feature.
Oh, it was just... Because I remember when it came out, it just was like a whole...
Yeah, any album back then, the Big Crit, the UGK double disc, you would just see it right there. You know, it don't have the numbers right beside it, so you don't know. But I do like the fact that they did add that feature because I like to just go into one certain disc and just listen to that disc by itself. But I do hate the feature on Spotify, sorry. Yeah. Where if you have like the auto mix on or the auto like going to the next song, I hate when it goes from the disc 1 and it starts mixing in the disc 2. I'm like, no, these are 2 separate things. Don't do that. Yeah. But yeah, besides that, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it's an alright project. Very good subject matter, very good songs on there. I just need a better divide next time. I need you to be more focused and concentrated on how to sequence the album a bit better, Kendrick.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do, I only listen to this album like 2.5 times, so I'm gonna spend more time with it. I got it on my playlist. I'm gonna just play it, you know, get more familiar with the songs, see if it feel, you know, better to me. I know it won't top his other albums for me. I don't think it ever will, but I want to get more familiar with the album, you know, because when I listen to it, it still feels like it's all over the place.
Yeah, especially instrumentally too as well. To me, I think that. To me, this has the worst instrumentals, the worst production. To me, it has the worst production, and I'm not saying that all these beats are just dog water or anything like that. But I think the consistency in his other albums, they had way better production, and it fit the theme a lot more for what he was going for in certain aspects of those albums right there. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Overall, album that you guys should check out, but don't expect it to be his best project. Yeah.